Hey everyone, it's Monday at GazWeatherVids.com, which means only one thing, it's Europe Day. Every Monday at GazWeatherVids we have a look at weather for the coming week across the continent, and today is no exception. So, just say about the website that we're using for the European Outlook. It's from weathercentral.de, find me into it on my links page. So we've had a very warm September across most parts of Europe. Things have turned cooler and more unsettled across Scandinavia and northeastern parts of Europe. I think by the end of this forecast period we're going to find much cooler, much more unsettled weather digging into much of the west and the northwest of Europe as well. So the warmth is eventually going to be shunted further and further to the south and the southeast. Big changes will be ahead, I think, this week. But we're starting off today with a lot of high pressure still over much of the continent, keeping it very dry and warm through many central, southern and eastern parts, also extending up in towards the British Isles as well. It's a little bit more unsettled out to west through France, Spain and Portugal, some thunderstorms bearing it's cooler and more unsettled up over Scandinavia and across northeastern Europe as well. If we have a look at the upper air temperatures, we can see it's a pretty warm scene really across most parts of the continent. Temperatures above average, away from Scandinavia and western parts of Russia, where it is a good deal cooler. So two distinct areas of precipitation today. Some showers across northern parts of Scandinavia, coming down into western Russia, also some northeastern parts of Europe. But many eastern and central areas will be dry, also dry down into the south and the southeast from Corsica, Sardinia eastwards. It's a very dry scene, but out to west it's more unsettled. We could get a thundery shower across parts of England and Wales, but really the focus is through the Low Countries down in towards France, through Spain and Portugal, and some big storms possible today through the Balearic Islands, so Mallorca, Ibiza, certainly at risk of seeing some torrential thunderstorms this afternoon. Mainly dry though, actually, for Portugal. Temperatures today show that it's going to be warmer than average for most parts of Europe, particularly from central areas. Germany, for instance, still at 25, 26 degrees. That's into the upper 70s Fahrenheit. Very warm out in the west of Europe as well. You've really got to go off the chart at the very far north and northeast to find temperatures somewhat cooler. High pressure ridging from the Atlantic through into many parts of Europe as we get through to middle of the week, so still no real sign of a change there, but low pressure is gathering around Iceland. That becomes more important later on through the forecast period. Upper air temperature show that it's above average for many parts of Europe through the course of the middle of the week, although colder areas digging southwards into parts of western Russia, maybe a wintry shower for Moscow. I think excuse me, I think that's unlikely, probably more in the way of rain showers, but it will feel cold for western parts of Russia. Cooler air trying to get in across Scotland and Northern Ireland as well, heralding the change to cooler weather by the end of the week and into the weekend. But most parts of Europe will still be very warm into the middle of the week with temperatures above average. Now I've got the risk of some thunderstorms stretched out through eastern parts of Spain, going up the Côte d'Azur into southern parts of France, then over the Alps in towards southern Germany. Could be some showers, maybe some thunderstorms there. Again, still the risk of showers or storms through the Balearic Islands. Through central and western parts of Spain, it's mostly dry as it is. Through Portugal as well, much of northern western France, mostly dry. Some showery rain coming into Norway, but most of Scandinavia will be dry, as will the east of Europe, and a few showery bits and pieces still possible around Ireland and the United Kingdom. Temperature still warmer than average as we go into the first day of October. On Wednesday, temperatures will be in the low to mid 20s for many parts of Europe, so that is into the 70s Fahrenheit. Now the high pressure begins to recede back in towards eastern parts of Europe as we go through into Friday, although it's still stretched out through the Mediterranean probably. Low pressure really winding itself up around Iceland, an active cold front sweeping in to Scandinavia, Ireland and the United Kingdom will be bringing heavy rain and, importantly, cooler temperatures. So the upper air temperatures are still pretty warm as we go through into the end of the week, but look at this cold air gathering out in the Atlantic to the north and the west of Europe. That'll be starting to sweep in later on Friday and into the weekend. Most parts of Europe, though, still on the warm side as we get through into Friday. There's that very active cold front bringing heavy rain perilously close to Norway, sweeping it through Scotland and Ireland as well, and it trails out into the Atlantic much cooler Atlantic air following. Most parts of Europe dry on Friday, though there could be some thundery showers breaking out through Corsica, Sardinia, and down in towards Italy as well. Still a risk of some showers across eastern parts of Spain, so through the Costas, for instance, and maybe showers easing off finally around the Balearic Islands. Could be some thunderstorms over North Africa, unusually. The temperature on Friday showed that they're edging down in the far east of Europe, but otherwise still pretty warm through most central and western areas. Moving through to next weekend, finally, the high pressure receding further back in towards western parts of Russia now. Warmer air beginning to push up into the east of Europe on those southerly winds, but conversely, it's turning much cooler out to the north and the west of Europe and in some central parts of Europe as well. Upper air temperature showing that warmth beginning to push up into the east of Europe, but conversely, it's turning cooler out to the north and northwest as well. There's that cold front line through Scandinavia, Denmark, down into Germany, France and Spain as we go through into Sunday. Still some heavy rain along that. It's dry under the high pressure to the east, although there could be some thunderstorms around Italy and down into, well, not quite getting into Greece, but to the south of Italy. And then out to the northwest, that's below pressure churning away, bringing heavy showers in towards Ireland, United Kingdom, Norway, and going down into northern and western parts of France as well. The temperatures finally, as we get through to next weekend, show that the warmth is still there through central areas, gradually being pushed eastwards with that cold front and those southerly winds, and it's turning a lot cooler out to the north and the northwest. So for the coming week, we've got another mainly warm week across most parts of Europe this week, but things will be changed, I think, by the end of the week. Active cold fronts sweeping in from the northwest. Norway, Ireland and United Kingdom and northern France will get it first with some heavy rain, much cooler temperatures following along behind, and then very gradually that's going to sweep eastwards, or perhaps quite quickly going to sweep eastwards next weekend, eventually bringing much more unsettled conditions and cooler conditions into much of western and central Europe. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.